Well, thanks so much, Kokeli. And of course, I'm joined now by the host for this evening. And I wonder how much sleep she's had. And this is, of course, Thoko Didiza standing with me, the Speaker. Madam Speaker, good morning. And this, of course, is one of the days when I doubt that you get much sleep because there's a lot going on and there's a lot still to come.
Indeed, you're right, Sakina, that little sleep indeed we have as presiding officers, particularly myself, and the chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, who are the hosts for tonight and also for the coming week, because when the debate has to happen, it involves MPs of both houses.
And of course, that's it. It's not just about tonight. There will be a debate to which the president will then ultimately also respond. And that sitting will continue until all of this is concluded. But as we are here today, let's just talk to what South Africans want to hear about. They want to know, among other things, what is it costing us to host the sitting this year?
What is costing us is approximately 7 million rand. That includes the physical infrastructure that we have to provide, like the marquee for the overflow, the marquee for the media, who are very critical in ensuring that citizens are able to see what is taking place and hear what are the issues that the president will be raising. And this morning, a number of political parties are also here to make their reflections on what they expect the president to address on the challenges of our country, but also globally.
We're back at the Cape Town City Hall, which has been declared a temporary parliamentary precinct. So how far are we with regard to the restoration of the house that burnt down?
In terms of the timelines, we are expecting that Parliament will be finished by the end of this year. And as you would know, that the construction schedule will actually be made. However, there may be other externalities such as the weather. Who knew that yesterday night would have ghastly wind in Cape Town? Nobody could plan for that. Who would know what type of weather we might have during the rainy season of Cape Town? No one can anticipate. But all things being equal, we are hoping that by the end of the year we'll be done with the construction of the National Assembly and the repair to the old assembly.
And when we talk about Parliament and the role for which Parliament exists, which is, of course, making sure that the executive is held accountable for decisions that are made, for monies that are spent on the taxpayers' behalf, and also for conducting oversight. And when we see, Ms. Didiza, that things go wrong in the country, where there are places where people struggle to access clean water, which is an inalienable human right. You know, what does Parliament do? Where does Parliament come in? Because you have your oversight mechanisms, you have your portfolio committees, but it seems that people are still struggling with various issues of service delivery.
Well, there are ways that Parliament intervenes. One, as you say, in terms of oversight, to make sure what government has presented as plans in Parliament, we're able to see exactly on the implementation, what could be the challenges, why are things not happening, and be able to report to our constituencies. But also, when we come back to those oversight, we actually make our reflections and make recommendations to government on what needs to change. And we follow that up, not only in terms of the debates, but also on the questions that are asked directly to the ministers, to the president and the deputy president. It is also about how we go down and work with other spheres of government. For instance, you'll recall last year on issues that were raised by the Auditor General on the functionality of some of our municipalities. The Portfolio Committee of Local Government here in Parliament, chaired by Honorable Zweli Mkhize, went to the various provinces, particularly Free State and the Northwest, together with the committees in the provinces and local government, and really engage the leadership of those local governments to understand why have they not been able to manage the finances, why have they not been able to spend finances on infrastructure which have been provided for. And that has been instructive in the way in which the oversight is being done, that it's not more just going and visiting, it's engaging, but also engaging citizens on what at Parliament we believe ought to be done.
And just finally, Ms. Didiza, with regard to the ad hoc committee that's sitting, I spoke to you last week or early in the week about some of the complaints about subpoenas. We did see Paul O'Sullivan appear this week, but of course, there's still the matter of Brown Mokgotsi. Are you able to give us an update on that matter?
Well, the chair of the ad hoc committee will be the appropriate person to be able to give you the response on that. But the committee did take the advice of the speaker in terms of how they need to continue to engage the two witnesses. And what is instructive is that both witnesses did not refuse to appear before ad hoc committee. They did raise the concerns that the committee is looking at how to address them to ensure that they are both here.
Well, thank you so much. And this is, of course, the Speaker, who is the host, along with the chairperson of the National Council of Provinces here tonight. We certainly will speak to her again later today as these proceedings get underway. And the sun is rising, but the wind is also gusting. And I tell you what, we have Vanessa Puna out in the streets also getting a sense from South Africans about their expectations. So, Vanessa, over to you.